I really hope this is recording me. Here are 7 tips and tricks that I've been wanting to share with you. Now, these are not anything major or crazy innovative. Some of these you can find very useful. Some of these are just fun to know or good to know. And some of these can actually save you a lot of time on productions. So let's just jump right into it. The first one is 2 for 1. It's a tip and it's a bit of news. Now, on the roadmap for Kdenlive in future versions or upcoming version, they're going to add project templates and a welcome screen. With the welcome screen, you're going to be prompted to choose the profile that you want to use for your project. And now the tip with it is when you start your projects, until this happens and it's coming soon, you want to make sure that you start with the project settings of your intended export. So if you work 1080p 30 frames, set it up before you start. Now, if you have a standard that you usually go for, when you go inside of Kdenlive configurations, you can set that up when you go to the default project. That way you can just start with your settings already there. The next tip for your keyboard shortcuts, so key binding. Kdenlive offers a lot of options. Now, it might not have all of the options that you might be looking for coming from different software, but it does offer a lot of options. For example, you can set keyboard shortcuts for your effects. You just want to be able to hit 2 keys on your keyboard. You can do that. You can go inside of the keyboard shortcuts, set up custom keyboard shortcuts. So if you simply go down here, click on the more options, and here you can download extra keyboard shortcuts. People have contributed Premiere Pro keyboard shortcuts. Now, there are already established keyboard shortcuts that you can use, which will also save you time. For example, you can use the number keys, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, to jump between video tracks on the timeline. And if you want to select audio tracks, you can hold Alt and then press the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on to select your different audio tracks. Likewise, you can also, with a clip selected, you can press Shift plus G to grab the clip, and then you can use the arrow keys to move it left and right. Shift G to let go, so you can use keyboard shortcuts for that. Next, we have, this is another 2 for 1, we have the audio levels. No matter the version of Kdenlive that you're running, whether it's on Windows, Mac OS, Linux, you're going to have a limiter of some sort. You can apply the limiter to master. Master is where you put the effects that are going to apply to everything on the timeline after everything is said and done. So it's the last effects that are being applied. So if you have sounds that are peaking and you don't want to go and touch up all of them, you add a limiter on master and you just set it to, let's say if it's the standard limiter, you can just put it to 0.9 and there you have it. At least you'll know that nothing is going to peak to that red zone. So now you know about the master. So on the master, you can apply any effect. It doesn't just have to be audio or limiters. And if you enable the built-in effects, you can enable it inside of settings. You go down a bit and you have built-in effects. Inside of master, you're going to find a volume control. So you can use that to either increase or decrease your general volume. Next up, we have transitions. Transitions in 2 clicks. And that is when you have 2 clips touching each other, if you double click at the separation, it will add a transition. Now, you can set up the default length of your transitions inside of Kdenlive configurations, and you can, make it either longer or shorter. That way you have a standard length that matches what you usually go for when it comes to adding transitions. Another thing is when you add these transitions, if you have 2 clips that have audio, so video and audio, it's going to add the transition to both of them. If you'd like to avoid adding the transition to both the audio and video, you can hold down Alt, click on either the video track or the audio track, and then press U on your keyboard, and this will add a transition. Yes, the keyboard shortcut for adding transitions is U, so just press U on the keyboard. Now we're going to look at cleaning up your projects and saving them, or rather backing them up. In the case of Kdenlive, you're going to archive your projects. So the first step when working on your projects, and this I discovered when I was working on a music video called Zion, and I had a lot of video clips, and this is to clean up the project. So if everything you're going to use is already on the timeline, and then you had some extra shots that in the end you're not going to use, you can go up to your menu bar, go inside of project, and you want to go down to clean project, and this will remove all media that is not on the timeline from the project bin. So everything in the project bin that has not been placed on the timeline is going to be removed. Now you want to be careful with this one, because if you have an asset there that you're thinking I'm going to use later, you don't want to do that because then it's going to remove it from your project bin. And then finally, when it comes to archiving or backing up your Kdenlive projects after you've cleaned it up, for example, same thing, you go to project and then you go down to archive project. And this is going to create a zip file with all of the assets and everything inside of that project that's going to save for you. This is basically a nice way of saving a Kdenlive project in a way where you can pass it on to someone else so they get all the clips. Now, if you're working on a project that has, let's say, 10 gigs of footage inside of it, when you try to create that archive, it is going to try and save those 10 gigs of video inside of the zip if they're all included in the project. So use it sparingly, but it's a great way to archive and save your projects, and then you can simply put it in a zip somewhere just as a backup somewhere. Next up, we have the assets library. And what that is, it's a folder where you can put specific assets. I use it to put the logo animation that I have, graphical assets, etc. Inside of that folder, you put your library, basically things that you might want to access quickly or often. And for this, you can either find the Kdenlive main folder on your system. It varies depending on your operating system, which is why I'm not going to give you a one location. But inside of Kdenlive configurations, inside of environment default folders, you can choose a different default folder for the assets library. Last but not least, this one I've been wanting to share for a while, and this has to do with the project bin. Inside of the project bin, there are several things that you can do to modify your experience. So not only do you have a lot of filters, you have these tags over here. So if you click on the tag, you have different colors and you can tag different clips with different colors. Very useful. Although if you click on two tags, it's going to turn black, and that's because two colors are mixing, so it goes closer to dark. Consider this as print colors, so CMYK, so the more colors you add together, the darker it gets. And so yeah, you can tag different clips. Next to that, you have this hamburger menu where you can zoom in and out. You can change the view mode from a tree view to icon view. You can sort your clip by date, name, duration, rating, type, insert order, etc. And then you have a few checkboxes to show date, show description, and you can disable bin effects, and these would be effects that you've applied directly inside of the project bin. And then the last checkbox at the bottom here, you have show video preview and thumbnail. Now when you check this one on, when you hover your cursor over the thumbnail of a video, when you move it left and right, it's going to show you a preview of what's inside of that video clip, which is very neat. You can also switch to, for example, the view mode to icon, then you zoom in, and now you have a completely different layout where, for some people, I would imagine this would be more convenient, and you can just scrub through your clips just by dragging the mouse over and see, okay, what's inside of this clip before you even open it up and start cutting pieces out of it. And then over here, we have more filters. So you can filter your clips. Now, if you've tagged them with some colors, you can use the colors, the tags to filter them. You can also give stars to your media and then filter them by stars, a used clip, unused clips, the file types, etc. So these are just a couple extra features that you have inside of the project bin that I don't really see spoken of or brought up, but they're there and it can change your experience. If you prefer a different UI or you find it more convenient to be able to scrub through these things. Now there are a lot more things, for example, on the timeline, the separation of the audio into two tracks. You have the option to fit all tracks in view, which will always keep all of the tracks visible. So no matter how much you scale the timeline, they're all going to stay visible. As a bonus tip, if you go over a video track, if you go to the side here on the left, you right click inside of thumbnails, you can choose which thumbnails you see, in, out, or every frame. I have courses on Udemy and Skillshare. Links are available in the description. You can click on this playlist over here to learn more about Kdenlive, and thanks for watching.